Hello, hello. Welcome back to Latinas Empoderadas. I'm Jackie. This is my co-host.
Hi, this is Kelsey.
Hello, hello. So we are back. We told you guys we're going to do bi-weekly every 2 weeks, and we're here. We're committed. We're going to do it. So we're excited to be back. We had a lot of good feedback from our last episode, and we want to jump into kind of the half storytelling we did from last episode. I know we kind of got you guys excited on certain topics, but we did not explain exactly the stories. So here we are. We're going to explain it a bit. And yeah, let's go. So my beauty school experience. I was just telling Kelsey off camera, I actually did a beauty school while I was in high school. So I don't know how it is in certain areas, but for me, I did beauty school through ROP. So what is ROP? I honestly don't even know what it stands for, but basically when you're in high school, there's like different things that you can do. So there's like nursing, dental assistant, like hospitality, a bunch of stuff that you can sign up for. And basically it's like a extra class. So I did beauty school, and you have to like fill out this application, and they have to like approve you, and you have to be like there's a waiting list. So I got into it, I believe it was my junior year of high school. I did not want to do it. I really did not want to do it because what it did is after your fourth period, I would just go to school. So I would do 4 classes after lunch, basically. And I would go straight to beauty school. And I was in beauty school from like 2 p.m. till 6 p.m.
Wow.
Monday through Friday. It was horrible. I hated it. Because then your senior year, you don't get to do shit. So I was just like stuck there. It was kind of a way of my mom telling me like, you ain't gonna be bad because you're gonna be in school. Wow. But anyways, so yeah, we were in beauty school. Mind you, the first day of beauty school, I got a write-up. I got a freaking write-up.
So this is high school, right?
I'm still in high school,
Okay.
yeah. So I got a write-up because my phone vibrated, and I looked at my phone, and then she's like, Jacqueline, you're not allowed to do that. So she gave me a write-up, and I'm going to say her name. Her name was Miss Natalie, I believe. She was older too, but like desde ese momento no me tragaba. Like we did not like each other. She like picked at me for every little thing. It was horrible. But anyway, so if you guys do not know, honestly, beauty school is freaking like you have a group of, I want to say 40 to 50 girls coming from different high schools in your area. So for me, it was like Ontario, Chino, Fontana, Montclair, a bunch of girls from different high schools coming to this one classroom together Monday through Friday.
Wow.
You could only imagine the drama that was in that place. So yeah, we were in class or whatever. I had really, really good friends that were in that class with me. I'm not going to say their names for the purpose of taking care of their identity. But anyways, so, you're in beauty school. This is all you do. This is all we did. We were there. So that was like our free time. A lot of these girls, had a very, like, I guess, private life at home. Their parents wouldn't allow them to do anything. So at beauty school, we had kind of like a little leeway where during lunchtime, you could leave the
campus.
You're not supposed to, right? But you go and get lunch. Again, we're in high school. So I had friends that they would have their little boyfriends come and visit during lunchtime. So we wouldn't even go anywhere. We would just go to the backyard because I attended, it's called a Salon Texas. So in the back was like our parking spot, and you would like go outside and like chill and eat or whatever the case is. And in beauty school, you also need to clock in and clock out. So it's like un trabajo that you clock in and you clock out with a little freaking ID card. So this one time, so again, I got a write-up my first day of beauty school. So you already know my relationship with this teacher was not okay. Luckily, I got along really well with the director of the school. She liked me a lot. But anyway, so this one specific time, we were outside and there were some friends visiting my friends. And it was time to go back into class. And I think les faltaba like 2 minutes. And obviously, they had to say their goodbyes. So I was like, hey, it's cool. Give me your card and I'll clock you back in and just, follow me after. And she's like, okay, cool. So I went inside. She was literally behind me. Like she already had said goodbye. And I swipe her card And this teacher, is her name Miss Natalie or Miss Nelsie? Damn it, I don't remember her name. Anyways, this teacher, she passes by as soon as she sees me clock in both of our clock time cards. And I was like, shit. And she just looked at me. I was like, wow. Oh my God, this is not okay. I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe like 30 minutes pass by, and then they say my freaking name in the intercom. And they're like, come to so-and-so's office. And I get there, and they basically are like, this is your last straw. Like, you're expelled.
What?
And I was like, what? And then she's like, yeah, this is like against our policies. Wow. Basically, it's considered, I don't want to call it, I don't know what it's considered, like a fraud because I'm talking her in.
For somebody else.
They gave her suspension.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. So I'm getting fucking expelled. She's getting suspended. And I'm like,
girl,
how am I going to call my mom? First of all, I got into beauty school because my mom owns beauty salons. And like, she's like, you need to go get your license. So how the heck am I going to call my mom and tell her, like, I got expelled because I clocked somebody in?
I thought you got in a fight or something.
No, bitch. Wow. I clocked somebody in. Like,
that sucks.
Yeah, I remember I was like crying and I was like, what? And obviously, you know, my friend, she's good because she just got suspended for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the like, what? And like, she's just like, yeah, like you're expelled. Go get your stuff from your locker. Call your mom to pick you up. And I was like, OMG. So obviously I call my mom. My mom's like, what the fuck? Like, you're not expelled. And mind you, if you guys know, beauty school is like 20 grand, 30 grand. So ROP it's free for us. Like, we don't pay nothing out of pocket. And I was already halfway through my beauty school. So my mom's like, there's no way. Like, how the fuck are you going to get expelled for something like this? So wow. I went home and I was in so much trouble, and we had to get a lawyer because they didn't want to give me my hours to attend another school because you have to do hours, and they didn't want to give me anything because I was expelled. So, wow. And then obviously my friend didn't get expelled. She just got suspended, which I love you. I don't feel nothing against you, friend. But yeah, so we had to get a lawyer. It was this whole thing. So I was out of school probably for a couple months. So by the time I came back, my friends were already like graduated from school. So I had to come back and like do Saturday school. It was horrible. But yeah, that's kind of the background of
you stayed in that school.
Yeah. Oh, so I stayed in the school because that's like the agreement they came with the lawyer in order for me to keep my hours. But what they did is whatever hours I had left, I had to pay out of pocket. So we ended up paying like $6 grand out of pocket for my hours in order for me to continue and have my hours. So that was the whole beauty school thing. And I mean, obviously I came back and it was like, they treated me like shit. So I only had one like teacher that was always like she took care of me. Her name was Miss Stephanie. And she would always like, it's okay. Like, here, I'm going to give you the books, you know, like you stay in that corner, do your hours. Cause I was already done. Wow. So yeah, that's why I know everybody thinks I got expelled because like,
well, yeah, I thought, you know,
I did some crazy
thing.
Exactly. No, I just clocked somebody in. But you know, obviously, cuando ya caes mal, there's already that thing.
Well, yeah, they're just waiting to see what mistake you make.
Exactly. So that's what happened in beauty school. And then I went back and I said, fuck you bitches, I'm gonna finish this. So I finished, and then mind you, okay, for beauty school, you need to, or after you take beauty school, there's a state board test that you guys need to take in order to get your license. So this is for anybody that is, I am not book smart. If you know me, I'm not book smart. I'm street smart. I've always said it, like, definitely not. I'm not a book girly. And then I always tell Kelsey too, like, she loves books and we talk differently. I'm like street girl and Kelsey's very like proper and she loves her books. Not me, girlfriend. I'm not like that. So this damn test, if you guys are gonna take this test, make sure you guys study. I took my
you thought you knew it all?
Girls. So back in the day, it's called practical and you're written.
Yeah.
So I had to work on a live person. So there's like 6 rows and then you're freaking doing whatever they tell you have to do. And there's just somebody walking up and down the aisle, looking at every single step you do. So I remember the first one that I went, the first test, because I'll get to that right now. But somebody legit ran out of the room crying before we even started that damn test.
Wow.
It's a very like traumatic experience. It's scary. But anyway, so it was the practical and the written. I passed my practical every single time. My written,
never. It's so crazy.
Tell me how many times you think I took that test. And this is even embarrassing.
Wait,
okay?
Maybe because you have to pay again after a certain.
No, so you take the test and then they give you, I think, like a year or something after you don't pass it the first time, like to retake it.
So let me guess, you went over the year.
So I went. It took me like 2 years to pass this test. No, how many times I took it? How many times do you think I took it?
Within the year?
Not our production guy giving 15 out
like
here.
Within the year though? How many
just
times
in general. ¿Cuánto duré para pasar el examen? My written, my practical, flying colors, girlfriend.
No, my God.
But my written.
Because I mean,
9 times. 9
that's
times.
Not that bad. That's like when people take their written driving test. People, oh yeah, no, that is.
No,
and I'm gonna tell you, my driving test. Well, the written, I think I passed it on the second time because the first one, you think you know everything, and then I didn't pass it. And I'm like, so I really had to study, and which I did, and. Hey, that's it. No. You just gotta read the damn book.
No, this shit's like the arteries in the body that get to the heart.
You know what sucks? Because I have a friend who, same thing. She was in cosmetology school and she didn't pass. I don't know if it was the practical that she didn't or whatever. But anyways, it sucked because she didn't get her license because of that, right? So now it's better that there's only the written test part. Right? Which is kind of good, but that sucks because all the time you invest the money, and you didn't pass because of one. I want to say hers, I think it was also the written because she knew everything.
It's hard. It's like everybody, like we have to read about the parts of the body, about like electricity.
I have my cuñado's wife, she also did recently, she took it in Spanish and she's like, girl, hard. I don't even I don't even know how it passes. It's so different, because the Spanish is it's in a different terminology. It's not like your mucho Spanish. So I'm like, whoa.
And it's like fungus of the nails. Like It's crazy. So if you guys are thinking about beauty school, just keep in mind, girlfriend, it is not just like, and you don't even get taught in beauty school the reality of what you do in hair.
You did it 9 times, so you could have given up, and you did it.
And I did it. And I did it.
So
I did it
shout out
because my
to
mom no me dejó. No, I was just telling her too. Like, I'm so grateful though that my mom pushed me to do this because
absolutely,
if not, like to me, I was like, I don't like what I don't need that license. Like, it's cool. No, always like I'm so grateful because now because of this license, I was able to expand to everything that we have now. And I always say like even if girls are like, well, I don't need to go to school. Maybe not at the beginning.
Not at the beginning, but
once you guys realize that this is what you guys want to do, your license te sirve para todo. The cosmetology license, you can do facials, you can do nails, you can do hair, you can do everything. And you get a discount at Cosmoprof and Salon Centric. So
really quickly, I want to ask you this because it was actually in the back of my mind, and I don't think I told you earlier, but I wanted to ask you, what did you want to do?
What did I want to do?
Yeah.
Be a boss ass bitch.
You mentioned that your mom, obviously your mom has been in beauty for forever, whatever, but like, and that you didn't really like it, even though it was a blessing in disguise to you at the end of the day. But what did you want to do? Did you have an idea or?
No, I honestly did it. I did
Putting her on the spot again. No, I was just curious. Ever since, the other episode, I kind of was like, okay, wait, what did she want to do?
What did Jackie want to do?
Yeah, what did Jackie want to do? Nothing.
Nothing. Yo quería ser la niña popis.
Oh.
No, funny talking about that too. I remember when I was going to turn 18, my mom's like, I'm cutting you off. You remember back in the day, juicy purses were in style?
Oh, yeah, Juicy Couture?
Yeah, like if you were...
Coach. Yeah.
So I would have every juicy purse that you can think of. And my mom's like, once you turn 18, no more juicy purses. I was like, you lying, ma'am. I'm your only daughter. She said, nah. So when I turned 18, she cut me off. I was actually a bartender. I loved the restaurant business because
you were exposed to that too.
Yeah. But I've always been a people person. Like, no me da vergüenza platicar con alguien or just like starting a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and just
I
like,
love that.
you know, be in the business aspect of everything. But my mom definitely influenced a lot of the beauty industry. And I go back to, again, I always say I didn't want to do it, but I think in reality I did. It was just that, you know, when your parents want to make you do something, you want to be rebellious and be like, no, I don't want to do that. So I think that's why I keep saying, like, I didn't want to do it, but I did. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy being behind the chair and talking to clients and meeting new people.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of everything that I've done is honestly helping that next person be where they want to be and get them exposed to the entrepreneur life, that it is possible if you want to do it and you want to set yourself up for it. So I think that's where I'm at right now. And I know we talked about everybody when I said like, oh, I'm not too sure who I am or like who I want to be or who I'm becoming now. And I think we're all in that position now because...
Well, we all have a journey with God, and that's going to look different from my journey to your journey, whatever terms you have, you know, and it's not something that you got to figure out now. Maybe, again, you always want to be growing, you know, and progressing. So, for example, what you like right now, you might not like it in a year, and that's... Like you mentioned, you don't like to read, but who knows? Maybe I start a book club and now you like to read. And then they're going to be like, what happened, Jackie la Cristiana? No que no leías. People are always going to have some shit to say.
No leía, pero mi amiga Kelsey empezó un book club y ahí estoy. Soy la mera mera.
Oh my God. No,
but
and
it's true. And I think we go back to, again, we're always so scared to start something new because we're scared of el que dirán. And I think like little by little... It's like, forget el que dirán.
But you have to focus on your individuality, not what is around you. Like, what does God do for you in your own individuality? And how do the people around you, in your circle, in your environment, feel about what he's doing for you individually? And then that's where it's kind of like, you'll start... I think when you look at it in that perspective, it's easier for you to not care what other people think. Because it's like, me, why are you starting all these businesses? Or like, why did you go from your 9-to-5 job to like doing flowers or now doing hair? And if I would listen to what these people say, I would be stuck with them. And people can only perceive you to the level that they can like just meet themselves at, like, or what level they have with God. Like, so I think moving away from not caring what people think. So what if you're a Cristiana? So what if you don't like to read books and now I'm gonna make you read books?
But it definitely takes that journey to get to that point.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You have to... It's easier said than done, girl, because I think my whole life I've always have like, oh, damn, what are people gonna say? Or, you know, you have that, but you have to stand in your own power as an individual and know that God has a plan for you. Purpose. And it doesn't matter what that looks like to anybody else, because the people outside, like I said, can only meet you to where they meet themselves. So if their vision is clouded, if their heart is bitter, like they're always going to see everything and point it at you. Somebody who has began to do the work internally within themselves is always going to be like, oh, damn, Jackie's doing that. Well, good for her. And maybe now you motivated me to go and do more. And I think, you know, we talk a lot about business, right? And I was thinking about those people that, well, what do I have for myself? Well, you don't necessarily have to pursue a business. If you don't have nothing going for yourself right now, pursue yourself. Work on yourself. Make yourself your biggest project. Because like I said in the last episode, if you're picking at people, there's something wrong with you on the inside, you know? Somebody who's happy and, again, at peace, you're not going to find the flaws in other people. Like, That's just, or at least that's just the way that I see it, you know?
Crumbles.
I'm not here to judge your journey. Who am I to judge your journey? Who am I to say all of a sudden now Jackie wants to be all about God? Like, no. You know why you have a relationship with God. You know why you're going after more. Only you do. No one else should be entitled to judge that, because
well,
yeah, of course, but I always like to call that out and, you know, kind of put people in that place of, wait, let me look in the mirror and see what I have to self-reflect on.
Well, that's why too you are able to now, well, I mean, we should always be that way, but to pick and choose who we want in our inner circle.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You know, like, if the people around you are not, you know, supporting you or showing you, like, then these people
shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be in your circle.
They shouldn't have access.
You know, a veces la gente quiere volar a costa de tus alas. And it's like, no, you gotta put, you know, a stop to it. Because I hear you, and I hear you always, like, you know, what people say, but it's like you're at a different place in your journey where that shouldn't even matter. You have so many beautiful things going for yourself right now that who cares?
Who cares what everybody thinks?
Who cares what everybody thinks, girl?
That's why silent on Instagram. I don't see nobody's shit. So if I'm not liking your stuff,
that's why I close friends. You know, I told you guys. Close friends only.
Make a close friends. I need to make one. Y'all go into my DMs and part of my close friends.
Oh my God.
Okay, so wait. Right now, how did you almost die?
Oh my God.
I don't remember.
I think I've told you the story. I don't know. I don't think maybe like in full detail. Oh my God, I have a timeline because I gotta remember these things. No, I mean, obviously I know what happened, but I mean, so yeah, I've seen death right before me. So I've had every reason to not be here, not just once, but twice. So the first time ever that I was, and I think I feel like I died and came back, to be honest with you. This had to be January 2019, maybe. Yes, it was around my birthday. We went.
What year?
2019, I think.
2019.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because my son was actually about to be 1.
Okay.
So he was about to turn 1. Yeah. So we went off-roading, or not. It wasn't really off-roading. We went out somewhere, and oh my God, I always get a little. We went off-roading, and then on our way back to the car. So if you don't know, this is like one of those like ATVs, like a Razor, right? So it's not like those like quads. No, it's like kind of like a car. So we were already driving back out from this place in Riverside that we had went to to the wash. Oh my God. Okay, girl, how do you know about that? First of all, what were you doing there? Oh, we got to get back to that. Okay, this girl.
Okay.
Noted. So yeah, so that's where we went. So like it wasn't really like off-roading, right? Because you don't really, people just go there, hang out, drink, whatever. You take your Razor, whatever. So we were driving back, and I think he had just gotten this Razor. He had a couple months with it. So mind you, we didn't have helmets, and there was no seatbelt because you don't go riding there. You just go to chill. So we're coming back in like already like residential. For whatever reason, this man decides to...
This man,
aka...
Your man was driving.
Yes, okay. He was driving. So, you know, maybe the adrenaline of, you know, it's my new toy. Let me show it off to my friends. Let me just go fast. And mind you, and I tell him this all the time, these people were not even trying to catch up to you. So
he was trying to show up to you.
Girl, no. I was over here like with my eyes closed, and I'm like just praying for my life, right? Because actually the week before we almost kind of, and that was off-roading, we kind of almost had an accident. So that would have probably been really fatal. But anyways, so yeah, so we're driving back to the car. He's going like, I don't know, it had to be 70, 75. So that's pretty fast, right?
With no
seatbelt, no helmet. Wow. Okay. So here's where
she was trying to.
Woo. So we're almost there. There's a stop sign, and actually, wait, before the stop sign, he's going really fast. And I'm kind of just like, hey, like, slow down, right? But I have my eyes closed. And he would always tell me every time we go riding, always, if we flip over or whatever, never stick out your hands porque se te puede mochar, right? So I'm holding on to the bar for dear life. Like, okay, can we just get to the car? So I kind of smacked him, like, slow down. He does not slow down. And I'm literally like this, okay?
You already kind of felt something.
No. I'm just like this. And I'm like, okay, we're almost there. Because when I hit him, I already saw the stop sign. It was like, I don't know, maybe 100 feet or so away. So I'm like, okay, I'm just holding on to dear life here. And then next thing you know, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's doing donuts, right? So I open my eyes and I go like this to smack him. He's not in there. He flew out. I am flipping in this damn ATV. Yeah.
And he already had flew out?
He flew out. He flew out.
You didn't hear him like...
No, that's how fast, things can happen in a split second, right? So I think what he has said, he was trying to like turn and also like slow down, but he couldn't. So somehow lost control. Again, no seatbelt, right? So I didn't see how that happened. Just I know when I opened my eyes to try to smack him again, I'm like...
So wait, you thought he was doing donuts?
Yes.
And the car was just flipping?
The car was just flipping.
He was already
out. I think I probably flipped like 4 or 5 times before it like finally came to a stop. So
and you like were holding on still?
I was holding on. Oh yeah. So when I see that he's not there, I grab on even tighter and I close my eyes and I'm like, God, my kids, right? I have 3 kids at this time. My son was like not even a year old and I'm like, okay, Dios, like mis hijos. And I swear when I closed my eyes, I saw literally like the light right here, just like white tunnel vision. Mind you, my grandmother passed away 2 years before that. So when I close my eyes, I swear that I see like her and I'm like, oh, ya vino por mí. Like, this is it. Like, this is the way that I go. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
So finally, the last one. So it's a big ass, even though it was a 2-seater, but it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
How do I... Well, I didn't walk that day, but how do I walk away with like not severely injuring my head? I do have my clavicle bone did separate, so my joints are separated. But just when it stopped, I'm under and I have the cage right here. So it was this way. So it was suffocating me a little bit. And that's when I see him running from like the side of my eye to me. So imagine.
So he was I don't want to say fine, but
I think with the adrenaline, he obviously, he's seeing what happened to me, right? So he's like running towards me and he's trying to pick it up. Obviously he can't. And then I think it took the other people maybe a good 45, 60 seconds to finally get there to lift it off of me. So at this point, and I can't move. I'm like probably numb and I'm just like, oh shit, what just happened? And I'm just there, and it was in a residential area. A lady comes out, and she's like, I'm a nurse. Oh, my God. She's shaking. She's turning yellow. She's going to go into shock. And I'm literally just thinking, like, if the cops get here, like,
yeah,
this is going to go wrong. So I'm trying to stay as, like, conscious as possible. And then I start to wiggle my toes, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Like, not knowing, girl, like,
that this side
all of this right here. Like, what do you call it? Like the burn mark or whatever?
Uh-huh.
My arm was so swollen. Like, I still have swelling here, actually. They had to carry me to put me in the car, girl. Like, I couldn't move. And somehow, some way, we left before, even like officers arrived. Because I think the lady did obviously call it in. So he drives off, not even knowing where we're at. One of his friends...
Into the racer again?
No. His friends took it.
Okay.
Then they brought us his truck. And then, they put me in the truck. And he's trying to I don't think he had his phone on him, and I sure didn't. I think he's trying to just figure out, damn, where's the nearest hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't, and somehow one of his friends that actually wasn't there, but the guys let him know, he shows up. He found us. And he's the one who drove us to the hospital. And so we get to the hospital, and obviously they can't even carry me out. So a few of like the male nurses came out to just kind of grab me out and put me in a wheelchair. Mind you, I still don't know how bad it is. I'm just like actually tripping the hell out. Like,
you still don't like, it's not processed.
Happened?
Yeah,
they couldn't even do an x-ray on my arm to see if it was actually fractured because of how swollen it was. So I ended up being in a sling. And I think that's the first time ever that I have some type of like something traumatic happened to me. So I don't think I knew trauma that well until that happened. And I say trauma because it did cause some PTSD for me. Like getting in the car after that was just like, we'll go on the freeway and I feel like the whole thing was like flipping. I had really bad anxiety. Even flying, I used to love to fly. I used to love to go, like, I would go visit my grandpa by myself, and now ask me if I can get on a plane by myself. I can't. Like, I can't. So, and the recovery was pretty hard, you know? Actually, when that happened in February, I had my lash course scheduled. So I had to push that out.
So that was already a sign not to take it.
Girl, yes. So I'm in a sling. Obviously, I'm like, hey, girl, I can. I'm in a sling. But she was really, you know, nice, and we pushed it forward. But you can just imagine your body, right? Like everything. And I think about it now, and I thought I kind of healed from that. But just thinking about everything it cost my body, I was already on survival mode my whole life. So imagine that on top of it. Oh my God, it was crazy. Like, I literally always say, like, I am a walking miracle because...
Have you seen videos of those freaking...
Well, the following month, a friend of mine, her cousin, went to the same place to the wash. He was in the quad with his helmet. I guess he tried going on the wall and kind of flipped back. Se pegó la cabeza y de ese golpe quedó brain dead.
It's so dangerous.
So even more so, I was so emotional, like... And that's when I realized, like, I've always had a connection with God since I was small. But that's when I realized, like, okay, I'm on this earth
for a purpose.
For a purpose. Yes, I have my kids, but what is my purpose? And that was that first testimony.
Yeah.
The second one, so that was 2019. 2020, COVID, October. I ended up getting sick with an infection that I didn't even know about, and it went into my bloodstream. So I went septic. I'm 4 days at home with fever, not even knowing what's going on. And finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, okay, this isn't normal. And I went to the hospital, I think on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night. And well, during COVID time, you weren't seeing a doctor. It was all like, okay, do your test. I'm going to call you.
Yeah, virtual.
Which I should have sued. Girl, I should have sued, man. So let me tell you. So I go and they're like, oh, you have an infection. We're going to give you antibiotic. And I'm on the phone with the doctor and I'm like, hey, but I've had fever already for 3 days. Like, my body, it really hurts. Like, I'm in a lot of pain.
There's something wrong. Okay,
just take Tylenol, 1,000 milligrams, but take the antibiotic. You'll be fine. And I think on that too, right? This is why I always say, and I advocate so much about, listen to your body. And when you feel something, just go. Because had I listened to this doctor and just taken my antibiotics and stuck with the like Tylenol, who knows? I probably would have they would have found me dead in my bed because I was already going septic. So sepsis is when you have an infection and you don't treat it and it travels into your blood and it can shut down all your organs. So infections aren't something to take lightly. Drink your antibiotics and then your prebiotics, whatever. But so I had no idea because I've never been the type to get sick or anything like that. So the next day I finally checked my temperature and I'm at 103. And I'm like, okay, yeah, after going Sunday to urgent care and them telling me, here's your antibiotic, just take 7 days of it, you'll be fine.
But when you went, they didn't do any
No, they didn't keep me because she said, oh,
they took blood out from you?
No, it was just urine.
So how the fuck
that's what I'm saying. It was just urine. And she said, oh, you have this infection, so I'm going to give you this. And then just, you'll feel fine. But the next day I finally checked my temperature and I said, oh yeah, and plus I already felt it in my body. I felt really weak. So I call my cousin. I'm like, drop me off. And I go back and I'm like, I was just here yesterday, but I didn't see a doctor. I don't feel well. And this is when they're checking you with that gun thingy, right? So they're like, oh, your temperature is normal. And I'm like, no, on the inside, I'm burning.
You could feel it.
So finally a doctor walked by and she's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't feel good. And I started crying. I said, can you give me something like, my body? And she's like, who brought you? And I'm like, no, I got dropped off. So she's like, no, you can't go to emergency like by yourself. That's a long walk. Because I was in a Kaiser Downey. So they have the urgent care and hospital separated. She's like, I'm going to get you paramedics and they're going to take you. So when the paramedics come and they obviously have to check my temperature, it was done orally. And he's like, you're at 102. And I'm like, yeah, why don't you tell these people that? Like, they're saying I don't have a fever. And I'm thinking, shit, I have COVID, right? Because this is literally still the start of, And I'm like, oh, man, I have COVID. Nope, they do my testing. And no, I don't have COVID. And that was that I had that infection and it already had traveled to my bloodstream. And I'm not going to forget the doctor. She actually, se llama como mi hija, Ariana. Dr. Ariana, like, man, that woman saved my life without me even knowing, because I didn't even know that I was septic at that time. I just remember them admitting me and they still couldn't control my fever for another 4 days. I was on morphine.
You were there for 4 days?
I was there for 5 days. 5 days. So sorry, 3 days being there, my fever is still high. They're just giving me like...
But at this point, you already know that there's an infection in your bloodstream.
No, because at that point, I think with the morphine and stuff, girl, I was out of it.
Yeah.
So I remember them taking me to go get x-rays and they said something with my kidney. And I swear, I was like, fuck, ya no puedo tomar coca. I swear. I'm like, because I'm a heavy Coca-Cola drinker. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, that's what it is. Because she said something about like stones and then that I was going to need blood thinners. So she never mentioned, or at least not that I recall, anything about, hey, you have an infection and this is what happened. I ended up finding out when I got discharged and later read my paperwork. I was like, what's sepsis? And I have a friend who she's in the medical field. She's like, girl, you could have died.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
You're like, okay, that's why I felt like this.
No, not yet. But the infection was already in my blood,
going towards it. But they controlled it.
So yeah, of course they were able to. Girl, they were able to save my life without me even knowing. Because I'm telling you, I couldn't have any visitors. This is when you couldn't have any visitors. So my family doesn't know. It's not like she was like, hey, let me call your nothing. I'm an adult. This was 2020. Yeah, I already had Ariana. And then speaking of infections, this one wasn't like fatal or anything, but last year, oh yeah, fun times. Last year in November, I took a cycling class. And
I'm not laughing at her, guys. It's just, I remember the exact day and everything too. I was on the phone with her.
So I took a cycling class because, I always like to try to at least stay fit or be fit. And that cycling class broke down my muscles, my quad muscles. So that also causes protein to release into your body, and that can go into your kidneys, and then you can have kidney failure. Thankfully, once again,
you listen to your body.
No, girl, that day I went 3 days, so I was very sore because it felt like your regular. Hey, I did leg day. I was on a bike. Of course, it's normal for my legs to feel like this.
Yeah.
But then by day 2 in the night, they started throbbing. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is really painful. Like,
you're like, okay, this is not.
So the next day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to call my nurse and see if she can get me in and see what's going on. But that morning, I had my grandpa here staying with me because he had gotten knee surgery and my sister was coming to help me. So I told her, hey, bring me his ice machine because I couldn't sleep last night. Like, it was just very uncomfortable.
His what machine?
His ice machine. Because he had an ice machine, like, to put it on his knee.
Okay.
For the swelling. So I'm like, can you hook me up to the machine? And when I'm done, I call her like, hey, can you help me go to the restroom? Because at this point, yo ya no puedo, like my legs, I couldn't bend them. It was very bad. So I'm like, can you help me get out of bed? I go to the restroom, TMI, but this was actually the sign that gave it away for me. Like, girl, something's wrong with you. I go to the restroom and I'm about to flush the toilet and I look down and my urine is black.
Yeah.
Black. And I'm like, and I call my sister and I'm like, Natalie, and she's like, girl, you need to go now. But mind you, I'm still calling my nurse and like telling her, she's like, you need to get into an ER like within the next hour and a half. My sister doesn't drive. I was calling my mom. My mom that day, for whatever reason, was not answering. And my cousins were taking forever to get here. So I called 911.
I was on the phone with you.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember
and
that.
You're like, okay. I was like, dude, just because I was going to come over here.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I can't get there until like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and I was like,
right.
Dude, just call 911. Yeah. And you're like, okay, let me call them.
And I called them.
She calls. And then I call back and she's like, yeah, I'm on the phone with them right now. Like, she legit saved her own life because she was like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And you were there for like
I was there for 6 days. No, girl, I was there for 6 days. Yeah. So it was bad. I mean, so I guess that protein, it elevated my CK levels, which are your creatine. Oh, they were so high. I needed so much hydration. And yeah, my muscle pretty much obviously broke down. So for anybody that works out, just be very careful. Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
You know,
Drink your water.
drink your water. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, girl, I had so many reasons not to be here. And while some people I may not be some people's favorite, I am God's favorite. I am God's favorite.
Yes,
and this is why you will always hear me say this, because my mom gave birth to a warrior. Like,
amen.
All those things that could have put me in a different mental space. And I'm just like, God, what do you have for me today?
Yeah. No,
what can I do to be that person that I thought I would never be? But yet, here I am. You know?
Amen. Yeah.
So when you see things, you know, like, oh, she has this. No, like,
yeah,
we all go through things, and just very scary.
There's always a purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Twice.
No, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. So
no, you never know. So that's why too, every day should be lived not to the fullest. I don't want to say the fullest.
Love who you love, girl.
And, you know, and love on everybody that you do love, and make sure you give them a call, just like here and there a text, like, hey, you know, I'm love you, like, or I'm here for you all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a day is not promised. Y de un día pa otro,
oh yeah, te vas.
You're gone.
You know, try not to have resentment in your heart. You know, again, that's why I always speak. You can only meet people to the level where you have met yourself. And all these experiences, I'm not saying, oh, why me? No, why not me? That led me to be here right now.
And it might take a while to
absolutely.
And it's okay to be mad at certain situations, and it's okay to grieve and, you know, have that journey.
I think that's why that happened to me, because I was in my grieving. My aunt had just passed away. I had all these other things. My uncle, they had found a tumor on him, and I just, you know, trying to work out, trying to be a mom. Life was telling me, slow the fuck down.
So funny, talking about slowing down. I have a little 2-year-old, and he's like attached to my hip. And my husband just showed me this morning, like, this, like, reel, and he's like, read this. And it says, like, if you're a mom that has, you know, a little baby that's attached to you, it's a sign from God telling you to slow down.
I love that. Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, you know what? Like, it's true. Like, sometimes we need that extra little push, or, you know, unfortunately, certain situations to happen to us to slow down and enjoy the season that you are in your life. And talking about seasons in our life, you know, I know last episode I mentioned about hosting a brunch with not so much dedicated to a religion, dedicated to the faith that we have in that one, you know, specific,
where God is our foundation.
Yes. So we got a lot of feedback on it,
did.
Which I'm like super blessed. I was telling Kelsey, like, wow, this is God showing us our community. Like,
yes, absolutely.
We, you know, there's a purpose, and I've always said it, Latinas Empoderadas, and actually the full name to it is Latinas Empoderadas Powered by God. That's the full name to this podcast, and He's showing out for us, and we're building a community. So we are going to host our first brunch October 6th.
Yes.
That's our aiming date, of course. You know, we'll keep you guys posted. And we already had a couple of small businesses and vendors reach out to us that are going to be part of this event, which I'm excited about. This event's going to be free.
Yes.
It's going to be catered to the community that we're trying to build.
Yes.
And it's going to be very small, but with a purpose. So we are going to post on events. What is it called?
I think it's Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eventbrite.
Where you girls can go ahead and
reserve your spot
and get your tickets, because again, it is going to be something small for this one, but I know there's more things in the works where we want to host maybe like a monthly gathering. But again, this is for us to meet you girls in person and just like come in community and just, you know, encourage each other and to just keep walking in your purpose and have faith in God that whatever it is that you're going through, there's a purpose to it. You probably will not know your purpose any given time right now, but it's going to come to you. And we just want to remind you girls that you have a community with us and nothing's perfect. And we're all going to go through, tests and trials and just little different things in our lives. But this is just a beginning to what we're building. So again, if you guys want to be part of us, we'll be posting the link. And if you are a small business that wants to join with us and join us in community to just empower each other and get to know one another, reach out to us either on each other's Instagram or on Latinas Empoderadas. We will be responding to you girls, and we're just excited to start building this community that God has for us. I don't know if you want
amen.
add into that.
No, I think I covered everything. I think you wrapped that up pretty well. That went by quick.
Yeah,
you interrupted me.
Okay, we're getting the hang of it.
It's okay, but yeah,
we're getting the hang of it. We're letting loose.
Yeah, for sure.
We're super nervous when we started the podcast.
Just be kind to yourself and whatever your journey looks like right now.
Mm-hmm.
We all go through things. You're not the only person or, whatever. Just stay kind, be kind, and try to listen or watch out for the signs. Because trust me, there's always signs. And if you don't have a strong relationship with God right now, that's okay. Maybe our testimony can help you, because sometimes I do feel like a little bit disconnected, but you got to ground yourself. And then you don't have to do like a big prayer, just kind of saying, hey, God, I'm here.
Yeah.
What do I need to look for? And you'll know in your heart.
Mm-hmm. And actually, right now that you touch base on that, I do want to build something on Instagram on what's it called? DM, a group where on Mondays I'm just gonna go on there and do like a little prayer on the message.
Yeah.
And it's just Mondays, just once a week. Just for now, and then we'll see where that takes us.
Like a broadcast channel?
Yeah, like a group chat. There we go.
Okay,
I was trying to know what the heck
I don't know how to do. I've been
Yeah, so we'll do it on the Latinas Empoderadas page.
Cool.
We'll do a group chat, and just every Monday, just gonna go on there and do like a little prayer for the week. And if you have any prayer requests that you guys want to send on there, more than welcome to. And we'll just be building it out through there, and then see where that takes us. And yeah, thank you girls
Thank you for watching.
joining us today. We'll be back in 2 weeks. But again, send us a DM if you want to be part of the brunch. And October 6th, be there, be square. Maybe we can host or maybe we can film our podcast that day with an audience. I don't know.
That sounds like fun.
We'll see, because we get a little nervous.
I know.
We'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Love you girls. We will catch you at the next episode.